Hello guys, and thank you for joining me again for a kit review. This time we're going to have a look at Miniart model is T-54-1, year 1947. The kit number is 37014, 1/35th scale. As you can see, it's barely fitting into my desk, quite a large kit. The kit comprises 93 photo-etched parts, 14 clear plastic parts and 863 plastic parts, which make a grand total of over 1000 parts. So let's see what is in the box. I never opened it as yet, although I received it from Armorama for build since last week. I've been very busy with some other build and my workload at my job, so well, but let's get to it. So instructions, there's a very nice instruction manual printed in color. Four painting schemes are offered by the instructions. That's the first one, the one that is reproduced on the cover, on the art box, very nice one. And perhaps I'm going to do this one, tricolor camouflage. Then the sprue layout. As you can see, very many parts are blocked with gray, which means they're not going to be used during the build. A small sheet of decals, photo-etched fret, and the colors going to be used during the building. They are cross references between ammo from MIG, Humbrol, Mr. Color, Testers, Vallejo, and also you have the color description. So perhaps I'm going to use a mix of enamels and acrylics, as I usually do. Most of them, they're going to be craft acrylics. Okay, the sprue layout continues on the next page, on the third page. As I said, very many parts, and then the instruction follow-up. The instruction, they look a little bit busy, not as busy as Dragon instructions, but still busy, and I won't be surprised at some point to be some difficulties following them, as is indeed a very complicated kit. Let's have a fast look to it. Well, some steps look reasonably easy, like this one, while the others, like this one, is rather complicated. Okay, so we're going to have a fast look to instruction manual. The kit has a full interior, and also it has interior that cannot be seen, like those machine guns that they are installed on the fenders. They still represented into the kit. I wonder if Miniart kit has many more parts than the original tank. I won't be surprised. So you have a full engine, you have a very well appointed turret interior, everything is there. Individual trucks. Look how complicated the assembly for anti-aerial machine gun is, and so on. But I have no doubts the result is going to be just fantastic. If the fit is good, then this model has to be a very good one once completed. I was telling you about the 4 painting options. The second one is here, just Russian olive drab, and the third one is here, right? So let's have a look at the box contents. I'm going to take those bags out. And I'm going to open them. As you can see, many sprues piled together, and 2 plastic bags. I'm going to start the bigger one. Okay, as we can see in here, actually there are more bags inside the first bag. Well, that is not the ideal solution. Once we open the bags, those parts, they're going to rub against each other, and perhaps we're going to have some broken parts, especially because a few of them are really thin. I mean, the plastic injected part. But anyhow, let's have a look at it. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to put this back in good order once I take them apart, but I have to open the kit anyhow, because the start is going to because the building is going to start very soon. So that's the bottom of the tank. You might notice some strange texture in here. Actually, it's not a texture, it's the different pigmentation into the injected plastic, but the surface is just nice enough. It's not very shiny, but it's not very grainy either. So it has a really nice touch to it, and the plastic feels heavy. I think it's a high density plastic. We'll see how this will glue. Okay, very small attachment points, very nice filigrane details there and there, welding marks, wiring. I think this is a factory stamp or mark on it. Anyhow, because the kit is so detailed, I'm just going to make a short presentation of the sprue, and for whoever wants to see more detail, I'm going to take some pictures with my photo camera, and I'm going to attach it at the end of this video. So that will be the first sprue, and I cannot identify all the parts, but nice casting number. So the detail, it's absolutely fabulous. My only concern now is how well this kit will fit together, but for what I'm seeing now, I must say I'm about stunned with the level of detail from Miniart. So I'd like to congratulate them, and I hope I'm not doing it too early. We're going to see that. So now, as you can see, it's a mound of modular sprues. Many modelers, they don't like that. Well, I do, and because I prefer to take small sprues out, my working desk is a little bit small. But anyhow, let's go further. So okay, I'm not going to, those sprues are identical, and I think that's very easy for modular to use that, because obviously those are parts that they're going together. I don't know how good Miniart managed to keep the things organized, but let's say for the wheels, you know, you need those identical sprues, and just take only those from your box. It looks good. Basically, I fast sorted my parts already. Again, excellent detail. Very glad with it. I hope it's going to build very nice. Okay, again, duplicate sprues. Exterior fuel tanks. I'm not sure if the PE parts have plastic alternative. I see some plastic brackets here. Would be nice. Some modelers, they don't like to work with PE parts. I didn't enjoy it myself, I didn't enjoy it too much, but I have to admit that the level of detail that can be achieved using them is bigger, so I would like to use them. Of course, another tank and some small details. Yeah, that was a fuel tank. Another similar sprue here. Kind of hatches. They're looking good. The same different pigmentation. You can see it on the surface of the plastic, but I can assure you that the feel of it is very, very nice. And I don't think bare acrylics they're going to have any problem sticking to it. Many small sprues. More gas tanks, tiny parts. Oh, what I want to see, okay, is to the molds are new. I can't see too much flash and just very small seam marks, but I'm not sure how much they're going to be visible. So I think it's okay so far. Sprockets, very nice detail again. No flash whatsoever, very good plastic, it has to be appreciated. Probably I'm going to separate this, rebag those just to make sure on resealable sandwich bags, as I have my habit. Usually ICM kits, they have the same problem. Okay, this item is one of the most hated by the modelers. They don't like those plastic towing cables. I doubt they can be bent convincingly, so I'm going to use only the head, and I'm going to replace the middle with some thread. Okay, that's the gun barrel. That's slide molding. Well, it's a one part. As I can see now, it looks straight, as is solidly molded. It has a very little seam, but it's easy to remove. We're not having the gap, and it's pre-barreled through slide molding, which is again a nice touch with this fine detail on the turret ring for the machine gun. Just nice. The ejection pins are minimal, and perhaps many of those, they are not in places that you can see after assembly. I think the interior, the lower part has double walls for what I see from instructions, so this glues opposite another part, so both sides will be marks free. Again, very nice. Another part that get a lot of critic was this log, unditching log, as they call it. Well, it's not looking fabulous, but it has some nice texture on it. It's a little bit irregular. It looks quite good to me, with with a nice painting. It might look convincing enough as a piece of wood. Problem is it has seam lines on both sides, so perhaps some of this detail is going to be lost. I've seen a couple of builds already completed on YouTube, and the modeler chose to replace that unditching log with natural wood. It's a good idea. I might be following or not sure yet. That is one of the last details I have to think of, so I can change my mind several times. By then, no, to me it's all good. For what I can tell at the first look. Order, very nice detail here. I think I can see some flash, but I'm not sure if it's flashed. Oh, perhaps welding marks. Okay, very thin plastic parts. Perhaps those, they are very difficult to install, and I'm afraid they will break, but I can duplicate them from copper wire, so I'm not very worried about those. The shapes are quite simple, so it shouldn't be a huge problem. I can see a bit flash here, but nothing to worry. Another part of interest is the turret. So it has very nice casting roughness to it. Looks good. It looks good. Yes, indeed. Not sure what it is. It looks old. Going to see. Alright. Electrical cables reproduced in here. Very nice. I think this is the cable connecting the lights. I'm not sure, but it looks good. Fantastic detail. Moving to the second bag of screws. These, I don't think it's necessary to open them up, but I'm going to do it just for the sake of a complete review. That's more stubborn. Let's get some scissors. There we go. Okay, more interior parts, very nice detail. Machine gun, it's a bit flat, but still looking good. I think Dragon are nicer, but that is not bad at all either. Okay, many small parts. Yes, another machine gun. The muzzle is not drilled in this case, so the pretentious modeler is going to need to drill itself. Not a big problem. Again, just the time that you have to spend in completing the assembly of this kit. Again, two identical sprues. That's the perhaps the cover from the machine guns on the sides. And all those are individual tracks. I know some others hate those. Well, I like them. Yes, it takes you a lot of time to deal with, but in this particular case, we have two different with horn and without the horn. They look good, and no flash, just a bit that I can see here on this side, that all those are clean. And the ejection points are in here on those feeder gates, and yes, they are clean. All that they require is just careful cut from the sprue and a little bit of cleaning, but not that much. So this is again a part I'm happy with. Well, when you have individual trucks, it's more easy to adjust the sag, to do whatever you want, depending on if you set your model on a diorama or not. Could be that one truck is more sag than the other, or whatever. You can develop any kind of scenario. So yes, I think it's a good thing to have it that way, my personal opinion. And the last bag in our box. So we have a very small decal paper. I don't know, my white light I think is a little bit tricky. I don't know if you can see them good. If don't, please see the pictures attached on the gallery section. So there are three numbers: 224, 222, and number 9. Small stars and about small red stars, and about that is. So not too much to show here. Then we have our clear parts. Some of them are very tiny. I guess it's going to be quite difficult to do with those, and they are not very neat either. I see this visor block has some wavy surface, but that's okay. For armor, it's just about good. I'm not going to dwell too much into it because everything is okay. And here we must have the photo-etched press, carefully packed. Alright. And yes, the fret is protected by another foil, which is for my for the kind of climate in Caribbean, just what I need. As you can see, look at this blade. The way it looks, it's almost new. It's less than 1 week old. So yes, I have to replace them very often. Looking good with the right thickness, not too thin, not too thick. I think they will be nice too. Well, some very tiny ones, but yeah, looking great. Those grills are magnificent, very fine, very detailed, very nice. So my conclusion on this kit, what I can say just at the first look, before starting any building, think it's a very nicely detailed kit. Some people would say it is over-engineered. Well, I never agreed with this term in our trade, so I'm not sure what the rivet counter they would say about this one, if there are any errors. For what I could see, the most common reference on YouTube videos is a T-54-1 that was already modified, so cannot be taken for a serious reference. I tried to find the Romanian T-54. I read that Romanians bought like 300 for reserve, so I was searching everywhere. I couldn't find any photograph or picture or whatever, but after that I realized that Romanians bought T-54-A, so I dropped the project as making as a Romanian tank. So I'm going to stick with the main color scheme, which everybody have seen already on the top of the box and is displayed as a first scheme right there. I think it's very attractive, and that's it for now. Please, for whoever wants to buy this kit, please have a look at the picture gallery so you can see the small details and so on. But if you want to take my word for it, at this point I would say this should be a fantastic, one-of-a-kind build. Thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy the following slideshow.